I'm a big fan of attorney-owned title companies, and David's experience in representing agents in front of the Florida Real Estate Commission, his knowledge of the Florida realtor contracts. Not all title companies are there. They do a good job of closing deals, but they don't understand if there's a problem, if there's a glitch, if there's an addendum, if there's something out of the ordinary that needs to be addressed. Then having an attorney available at a moment's notice is very critical to saving a deal, and I was a big fan of that and still am. So I'm Bob McDugald. I'm the broker, owner, founder of Future Home Realty. A majority of our business is in the Tampa Bay metro area. We have over 1,400 agents, and so we're one of the largest in the area, and have been around since 2001. I met David several years ago. Of course, with as large a brokerage as I have, I get approached by many title companies, mortgage companies, everything else. So I agreed to meet with him. And I was immediately just drawn to David's method of doing business. He was trying to see what he could do to help us as a brokerage rather than how our brokerage could help him. He was concerned about what needs I saw in a title company and how the title company could come alongside a real estate company like ours to assist our agent. I've always been a firm believer that we each do what we do and we do it well, right? And that I don't see our vendors as a vendor per se, but as a partner for our agents, that they can come alongside and become part of our agents to create a team that they can introduce their clients to. And David really grasped that concept and wanted to know how he, as a title company, could encourage his team to help our individual agent teams succeed in what they were attempting to do. So that's where the relationship started. It's blossomed. It's been many years. I couldn't even tell you how long it's been since we originally met, and I've just grown to appreciate David's expertise. Yeah, my agents have nothing but glowing words to say about American Patriot, from their customer service, their willingness to answer questions quickly. A lot of times when you need to speak to a title company, it's usually when there's an issue that has emerged. And some title companies tend to bury their head in the sand, hoping that it might go away, where David's group has always stepped up, addressed the problem, and found quick solutions, whether it involved David as an attorney or not. My agents have told me story after story about them stepping up and being extremely responsive and find solutions to problems that are out there. Yeah, for me personally, as the broker of a large company, having David as a sounding board, as an attorney, making sure that his willingness to respond on behalf of myself as a company and even on behalf of our agents that utilize his services. Many times communications, whether they be email or letters, coming with the strength of an attorney signature behind them, tend to get things done better, whether we like it or not. People tend to appreciate and respond and open their eyes and pay attention more when an attorney has become involved. And so having David's ability to do that has been probably the biggest differentiator that I can see from my business perspective, but also from my agent's ability to have their clients speak with an attorney and get some legal advice, and encouraging our agents not to act as attorney, but to refer attorneys would be a better method for them to go about. And David's been always willing to do that. Just this morning, actually, I had an agent that approached me about an old closing that had occurred, and she was relisting the property and realized that there was an easement issue on the survey. And my first suggestion was for her to reach out to David to get his take and perspective, not only from the legal side, but also from the title side. Having that hybrid of an attorney, very extremely knowledgeable in real estate and real estate closing law, would be critical. And I'm sure he's gone through this before. So as soon as she hung up, her next call was over to American Patriot, even though American Patriot wasn't involved in the original transaction and may or may not be involved in the current transaction. David's always been willing to lend his advice on things like that for our agents. There are several instances where I see closings that have occurred without a hitch, that there potentially would have been a hitch had there not been someone like David and his team stepping up and able to create an addendum that satisfied both parties. Whereas if it had just been a quote unquote normal title company, it may have slowed things down or caused a delay, because both sides would have had to have had attorneys involved, where David could step in and write something that protected both sides and did it with proper legal wording that would allow the mortgage company to be okay, the title insurance underwriters to be okay, and everybody involved to come to a successful closing without any delays. The biggest differentiator I can see is the ability to sense a problem, diagnose it, and solve it quickly without attempting to cast blame. Let's just focus on the solution. And that's what I found out of American Patriot, is that they are solution oriented, because they understand the time sensitivity of real estate transactions. They understand the naivete sometimes of the clients involved, and are able to explain sometimes very complex scenarios in a simplistic way that allows the clients and even the agents involved to understand, get a full grasp of the problem, yet still come up with solutions that are sensible and logical for both sides. So for me, that is a unique in the industry, and I'm always appreciative when an agent calls me with a problem and they tell me that American Patriot's involved. Then I kind of breathe a sigh of relief knowing that I've got some sensible people on the other side working to a reasonable resolution. Oh, for me personally, extremely responsive. David, he and I speak often. The legal issues come up. David also represents our firm as a corporate attorney, if you will. Always very, very responsive. If he's not able to answer a call, I'll usually get a text back. Can I call you later? And he always does. There's never been more than a 4-hour window where I've had to wait for a response from David. But I absolutely would recommend 100% my agents to utilize American Patriot Title and the services of David. They're wonderful people. I, without a hesitancy, would recommend that people utilize the services of American Patriot Title.